were recovered over in Huffman. Based on investigative procedures, we were able to put that together. And that's where we stand at this time. No charges have yet been filed on either individual, but we do have two in custody now and two firearms recovered. Those firearms will be run through NCIC to see if they are stolen. As you know, the vehicle they were in was stolen. It is being processed, and that is where we are to this day.
Any idea as to where this, I know there's one more suspect, right? That's still on the
We were told there's a third suspect by one of the individuals. We're still looking into that as to whether that's even true or not.
What can you tell us about the suspects? Names, ages, charges?
Young black males is all I can give you right now. Until charges are filed, I can't give any names or anything out.
Have you been able to connect them to any other crimes?
Not yet. We're working on that. We do have detectives from other jurisdictions here talking to them. They're going to end up talking to quite a few people before the day's over.
Did they say anything about why they ran or why they shot a police?
Not to me. I haven't talked to the detectives interviewing them yet. We'll see as the day goes on what their stories are, and we'll probably have an update on that later.
Anything that the public should still be on the lookout for right now?
Not really. One thing we do want to pass along, and through our investigation this morning, we found that this started originally when these gentlemen were up on somebody's porch, knocking on the door asking for directions at 2 in the morning. So we're asking, as a crime tip or a suggestion, if in those late hours you have somebody knocking on your door, quote, asking for help or directions, call us. Do not open the door. Let them know that you've contacted the police and we're on our way, and we'll be glad to help them when we get there, and not to open the door. And that's one of the things through our investigation this morning, that we've determined, and that's a tip we want to pass along to everybody.
You guys been able to pick up on just the reaction from people in that neighborhood where they were on lockdown for those several hours as a result of this?
The one or two people that I have talked to were grateful. They were grateful that once they found out we had made an arrest, that we had rounded at least one of the suspects up. We had to knock on a few doors last night to make sure people were okay, and they were appreciative of that. I'm sure that there were some that were inconvenienced, but I'm sure they understood. So far we've had no negative feedback.
What about that house where you said that they knocked on that door to ask for directions? Did you speak with the family there?
I have not yet, but
Okay.
I'm sure the officers have, and the detectives will further during the day to follow up.
Were they the ones that called in the suspicious vehicle, the ones whose house was?
I don't know that either. It went straight through Shelby County 911. All right, guys, that's it for right now.
Did you say there was another suspect, or what is it?
We were told originally there might be a third one. We're still trying to verify that. So, right now, I'm not planning on another presser, so just check with me throughout the day, guys, and I'll let you know if there's any updates.
What charges could they be facing?
Attempted murder of a police officer, for one, would be the biggest thing. Attempting to elude. Those would be the biggest ones that they have to worry about. They're also in a stolen vehicle. They were in possession of stolen firearms. So the list grows.
Can you describe what exactly firearms were? I mean, you said there have been two weapons that have been.
I'm not really sure right now what they are, and it may be germane to the investigation, so I'd rather not say.
And do you know where the stolen firearms came from?
Oh yes, if we know they're stolen, we know where they came from, and again, that's part of the investigation. And those are facts that we might not want to release right now until we get into it a little further.
Through the time frame as to when charges could come. I mean, is that something?
It's possible that it could be before the end of the day. It all depends.
Where was the suspect, the second suspect?
He was in Huffman at home.
At home.
At home. We picked him up there, and that's where we found the firearm. So that yes, one of them was able to slip through the perimeter. They have the advantage when these things first hit of speed, and he could have run through the waterworks behind those houses, through the waterworks, and been down on 280 just as we got the perimeter in place, and already been. That's just the way it is. You get the perimeter set up as quickly as you can, and hope you've contained them. But there's a lot of territory there to cover. The waterworks may not look big until you're inside of it, and then it's huge. So,
Do we have an age range for either one of these?
between 19 and 25.
So was there a getaway car, or did they run from 280 to Huffman?
That's what we're looking into right now, is how did he get from 280 to Huffman. And that's one of the things we'll be looking into, and there may be some folks there that we'll want to talk to.
When you were questioning the first suspect, you heard that he kind of indicated that they had planned a crime spree tonight. There may have been other crimes that they were.
I can't verify that. I haven't talked to him. I would have to check with the detectives. We'll have to wait and see what their investigation reveals.
How's the officer doing who was shot at?
He's fine. He's on his way home after a very long night. So.
And do you know about how many shots were fired?
Still don't. I think it's just 2 or 3, but I can't be certain without talking to him. And like I said, he's gone home for the night. So.
Did you release the make and model of the stolen vehicle?
It's I don't know what year model is, but it is a Ford Taurus, silver in color. And it is a stolen out of Center Point yesterday morning, I believe.
Can you just again, I mean, we were all there, but just talk about the size and scope of this search and how you were able to do that in the middle of the night, and what is intelligence?
It was an extensive search. It was an extensive perimeter that we had set up, which can allow them to slip through it easily. Unfortunately, until you get enough officers in place, especially in the dark. We did have officers from 5 different agencies down there, including Shelby County, Jefferson County, Hoover, Homewood, Mountain Brook, Pelham, and ourselves, all setting up a perimeter, all trying to coordinate. We did attempt to get some air assets in, but due to the low ceiling this morning, the FAA would not allow them to take off, so that kind of fell by the wayside. We set up a perimeter, and then we conducted searches with canine, tracking dogs, and one of those searches did reveal results in catching the first subject with a bloodhound. At one point, the dogs had been used. We had to bring in fresh dogs. They did track towards the waterworks, through the waterworks out towards 280, so that would probably be the suspect we picked up in Huffman.
If it is determined that there is a getaway car, doesn't that kind of advance this into something else where we might have more people involved?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. There may be some more folks we'll be talking to today.
Are the suspects cooperating and giving information?
I don't know. I do think that they are being interviewed right now by the detectives. And they may be talking, but is what they're saying relevant? So. Anything else? All right then. And that's what we got, guys. I don't know if there'll be any other updates today. I think we've made all the arrests we're going to make, at least for today. So check with me later this afternoon, or have your folks check with me later this afternoon, and I'll see if there's anything else to put out. But for right now, that's going to be it. So we have 2 in custody. We have 2 firearms. We have the stolen vehicle. They're being interviewed by detectives from several different agencies. There's a lot of what we call stakeholders in this. Whether it's, and again, guys, I know I've been asked this by all of you, whether it's related to the Lake Cyrus incident in Hoover or not, there's no way to know just yet. Is it related to the incident in Panorama Terrace out there in Birmingham yesterday afternoon? We don't know. We don't know. Investigation will tell us that.